This trail camera review is for a 2025 Reconyx Hyperfire trail camera. Mine came with a free hat.
I've always wanted a Reconyx trail camera, but I've never been able to pull the trigger until now. I've been using all types of trail cameras for the past 15 years, and we have over 200 trail camera videos on this channel alone. And I know you're probably wondering if Reconyx trail cameras are worth the price. So to start with, I'm going to just rip the band-aid off the wound. These Reconyx trail cameras cost $400. That's $400, and that's twice as much as any other non-cellular trail camera on the market. The question is it the best trail camera that money can buy? Well, the answer is maybe. But we're going to find out together. So let's unbox this baby, and then we'll take a look at the advertised features, and then we'll take a look at the 4K sample footage from the Reconyx Hyperfire. Now, there she is, right there. Upside down, of course. There we go. So what's in the box? You have your standard strap that's in the box. One instruction booklet. An awesome Reconyx trail camera sticker. That's it. A quick look at the Reconyx website gives us an idea for battery life. It will take rechargeable or AA lithium batteries, or you could connect an external power supply. For memory cards, you can use the regular standard SDHC cards up to 1 terabyte, which is amazing. The camera will operate between -20 degrees and 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and it has a trigger speed of 0.25 of a second. For data capture, it's pretty standard: time, temperature, date, user label, etc., etc. The feature settings include illumination on-off option, illumination power settings, photos per trigger, delay after triggering, night-day option pics or videos, nighttime shutter speed, max ISO settings, motion sensor scheduling, day of the week scheduling, time-lapse surveillance, time-lapse interval, time-lapse scheduling, day of the week scheduling, but not loop recording. NA. Next, we'll look at the setup menus inside the camera. So let's take a look at the settings. Turn the camera on with a simple on-off switch. You get the Reconyx logo. It's kind of interesting, you have a home screen, and this gives you some very simple, quick commands, basically. You can arm the camera if you really want to go with it, test the motion sensor, view pictures, erase the SD card, very simple stuff. Then you can go to the settings, and you can set all kinds of parameters here: time-lapse, day-night pictures, picture, videos, add the label, time and temperature. Of course, it gives you the year, the day, the date, the month, all of that. Adjust for daylight savings time. And it's a pretty simple trail camera setup that you're probably very familiar with. So I've got the batteries installed into the camera. I've got the SD card put into the slot. All I need to do is format it, and this camera's ready to go, ready to do some tests with it this afternoon and tonight. One of the great things about this camera is it's got 2 ways to mount it onto a tripod. You've got the bottom base right here, and then you also have a back tripod mount, should you need to mount it that way. All right, so now that we have the tripod and the camera together, we're going to set it out and see what kind of animals we can get tonight. All right, I've got the trail camera, I've got the SD card. It's time to take a look at the footage of what we got. And to start with, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not good. In fact, some of the footage was so poor that it's going to be a deal breaker when it comes to this camera. Before we get to that, we're going to take a look at what did work
with the Reconyx Hyperfire. Even take a look at some of the metadata embedded in the video files to make sure that it's delivering on what it says it does.
As we look over that first clip again, you can see that the color is very accurate. The greens are quite nice, as is the blue, and even the turquoise down in the kayak is nice. So let's take a look at that embedded data that I was talking about earlier. This is what's called the metadata. So first of all, we're going to check and see what the resolution is. And yes, you can see that the resolution for this video is 4K, exactly as advertised. Now let's take a look at the frame rate. It appears that the frame rate is 30 frames per second, exactly as advertised. And of course, the 4K resolution gives you the ability to zoom in on a particular point and maintain good quality. And a frame rate of 30 frames per second is the standard used by most video cameras in the United States. In this clip, you can actually hear my neighbors as well as the birds, and this is evidence of a high-quality microphone. This is the only large mammal footage I got. On to the night footage. Despite being a little fuzzy, the night videos looked and sounded pretty good. But it wasn't long before the major issues started happening. I was getting these weird strobing flashes on almost every night video.
So I opened up the camera and checked the settings, and they all seemed normal. And I checked the Reconyx webpage, and I saw that there was a firmware update available. So I updated the camera with the latest firmware, and I thought that would solve the problem.
I thought for sure it did. But then, flash. Flash, flash. It was even flashing during a dawn shot. In one clip, it even seemed worse than before the update.
So after just one call to Reconyx customer service, they sent out a brand new camera. And then I waited. We have got the new camera right here. This is the old camera. I have already put new batteries in here, formatted the SD card, set all the settings, and it's ready to go out for a little bit of night work to see if we can improve on the footage.
Well, the good news is there's no more strobing with this new camera, and I'll be quiet as we look at and listen to the rest of the sample footage.
All right, so what'd you guys think of that footage? I saw some issues, but we're gonna get those when I get to my final evaluation. By the way, I've got a little cheat sheet here to help me go through my list because it is quite extensive of the pros and the cons and my final thoughts on the Reconyx Hyperfire trail camera. As far as performance goes, I thought the camera did okay during the day. I've seen sharper pictures. I've also seen better color. However, I did notice that the trigger mechanism was as quick as they said it was, which is 1/4 of a second, which in my opinion is pretty fast. I thought the color was true to form, although not brilliant or popping like some of the other trail cameras that I've seen, like especially the Brownings. Now the nighttime footage, I thought it had soft focus, and I don't know what the issue is. At first, when I was looking through Reconyx trail camera videos on YouTube, I saw that what looked like nighttime focus being sharp, but sometimes YouTube degrades the footage after it's been uploaded. So I wanted to take a look for myself, and sure enough, even with the bad camera that was strobing, I could see that it was soft and nothing was very sharp. Now they have a setting that you're supposed to be able to get a little bit of a quicker shutter speed, but I didn't notice that when I tried it. So I don't know. A lot of the footage that I shot looked like trail camera footage from the Reconyx cameras 10 years ago. And even though this is a 4K camera, a 4K camera doesn't help much if you don't have an improvement in the lenses, because that really what gives you that clarity and that tack sharp focus that is prevalent in a lot of the cameras that are less money. We're not really going to be able to test the batteries out. That takes a long time, 2.5, 3 months at minimum if you're shooting video, even longer if you're shooting stills. However, I can tell you that we shot close to 500 15-second videos, and we're still at maximum capacity according to the AA lithiums with the battery monitor inside this camera. I do like the way the camera is set up. I like the screen, using the buttons, the home screen. It's very versatile. You have a lot of control over quite a few items in the camera. I also like the build of the camera, and that's one of the things that's supposed to be one of the great things about Reconyx. They're supposed to be very, very durable. And to back that up, they have a 5-year warranty. That's a powerful warranty, and that almost alone justifies the price. However, you can get some less expensive cameras that I think have better quality, but they may not last as long. So you're going to be using those cameras as almost like disposable cameras. When they're done, you just throw them away. Is the value worth the price of this camera? That's really hard to say at this particular moment. I'm really going to need a little more testing with this camera. So I think that if you want to get a Reconyx Hyperfire 4K camera, you're going to have satisfactory results, and you're going to have a great warranty to back it up. One of the things about the 5-year warranty for the Reconyx Hyperfire is that you have to register it at the Reconyx website, and that will activate the 5-year warranty. For the casual user, I don't know if it's the best investment. I think that if you do serious trail camera studies, and if you do a lot of work outside with trail cameras for security or for wildlife, it's probably a pretty good camera. But just for the normal person, just to buy a camera and put it in his backyard, I don't think that's who it's for. I think you need to get a lower end model, and at least to start with, and maybe work your way up to a Hyperfire or another higher end trail camera. So the final verdict, I think I'm going to keep the camera. I went back and forth, I waffled back and forth on whether I would send it back. I think I need to take it to Costa Rica and put it into the jungle down there, and we'll see what type of performance it has with a lot more humidity. It's been really dry here. This is South Carolina. We normally have a lot of humidity in April and May. April showers, nada. But in Costa Rica, they're getting lots of rain, and if I get down there in May, we'll take a look at how this camera works in the humidity, and we'll see if the heavy rain showers affect it like it's done so many of the other trail cameras that I have tried down there. One thing I wanted to add is this is not a sponsored trail camera video by any of the companies. However, I would like to thank TrailCam Pro as well as Reconyx for being so professional in dealing with me and getting a camera rushed out to me right away. So thanks again, guys. So I hope this video gave you a little perspective into a Reconyx Hyperfire 4K camera. Thanks for sticking with me and watching. It's been kind of a journey along the way with the camera, having to go back and stuff. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun working on it. And if you have any questions or comments regarding this camera, please leave them down below and I'll get to answer them. And maybe some of the other people who have used Reconyx cameras over the years will have some insight as well. See you soon.